Crazy people, yes. Crazy people. And speaking of crazy people, hi, Tim.
Oh, good afternoon. Are we on yet?
We are on, yes.
All right.
We were just talking about the NFL draft. It is going on in Detroit right now. We're going to take a little live look. This is the stage in downtown Detroit. It's been slowly growing, the crowd right there.
Looks like there's a lot of Honolulu blue there.
I see some orange. I do see some red. Maybe some of those teams to the state down south. What do you think?
Well, that's what NFL drafts tend to look like in the afternoon prior.
We're
I don't
4
know much,
hours away.
I don't know how much winter clothing is being worn down there tonight, but I hope there's some, because this isn't like Southern California or Las Vegas. I know that.
We are officially 4 hours away from.
Where is that video from? Where's that shot taken from?
Like the building?
Well, I mean, that isn't a hovering drone, doesn't look like to
No,
me.
it's affixed to one of the buildings downtown.
That's just good coverage.
They've actually been sharing with us a couple of shots, and some of it is.
That's a lot of booze right there for the commissioner.
There's also some shots from like Hart Plaza, and this is Campus Martius, but there's events going on all over Detroit, and there's a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people coming into Detroit to experience all the sights and sounds and foods of Detroit. But the real story is going to be who is going number one overall, and who do you think?
Well, that's the only thing that's a definite. The number one. It's number two that's more of a, and even that's not much of a mystery unless there's a surprise. Caleb Williams of Southern Cal is going to the Bears. They only get 4 draft picks, so at least at the start. But what always occurs in the draft, after 82 million mock drafts from all the experts around the world as to who's going to be chosen when, where, and how, then there are a couple of trades that take place, and that screws up the whole thing as far as what everybody thought somebody was going to take. But Caleb Williams of Southern Cal, you know, he's expected to, because the Bears got rid of their quarterback.
They did.
And, and 2 is probably, what Jaden Daniels of LSU, the Heisman winner, he's expected to go to Washington. Now, where it gets a little bit
Washington doesn't have a coach, though.
They don't have a quarterback.
They haven't got anything.
And 3 is the Patriots, and that's where it's either expected now. I mean, I'm like anybody else. I can read all this stuff and try to memorize it. Either Drake May of North Carolina or J.J. McCarthy of Michigan. I think McCarthy's the huge storyline. Number one, he opted not to go downtown for the draft, as many more players are doing now, because they'd rather be with their friends and family, and they don't want to get stuck, away from familiar territory. And where's McCarthy going to go? Because 5 are the Chargers, and that's Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't get chosen, 4 is Arizona. Arizona will take Marvin Harrison, Ohio State. I look at all these guys are going to go, and Michigan State's played them all and got drilled by all of them. And 5 is the Chargers, Harbaugh. But the word is they'll trade to Minnesota, because Minnesota got rid of Cousins to Atlanta. They need a quarterback, and they like McCarthy. So as soon as you say all that, that's not what'll happen.
I have on here, what surprise trades do you think some teams might make that might shake up everybody's mock drafts?
Well, the Lions.
Okay.
The Lions have already warned everybody. They're afraid that you just saw all those fans downtown. What if they don't have
These ones?
They pick 29th. That'll be at 11:30 to midnight. Now, if they trade down, which they say they may do if they don't have who they want available at 29, most likely a cornerback. If they's not, then they'll trade down, and then they won't have a pick on the first day of the draft, and they know their fans won't like that, because their fans are, it's a problem when you win. You don't get an early pick. That used to be nice for them every year. They got one of the first picks, so you know right away who they're getting. And by the way, the early picks, look how they've helped them in the last year.
Exactly. So it works. You just got to give it some time.
It gives and takes. It comes and goes, okay? It's a double-edged sword.
And now you got New England up there with one of the first picks.
They're 3rd.
Yep, see?
Barring a trade. And trades are a part of the first round. They historically have been, but it's ludicrous to interview all these general managers in advance of that about what they're going to do, because they never tell the truth, because they don't want anybody else to know the guy they want to take, so that somebody else doesn't take him. But I'm intrigued by McCarthy, because he did lead them to a 15-0 record, and Harbaugh's been chirping about him like he's the greatest thing since the history of sliced bread. So does everybody buy that? I always say the people who make their living in football in the NFL evaluate players with their livelihood on the line a lot better than parents, girlfriends, brothers and sisters, grandparents, college coaches, because they have a rooting interest. Oh, this guy's great. I mean, he's going to be a great pro. But those who make their living doing this are far more objective. So we'll see what they all think of McCarthy.
We'll see.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, we just had our very own Detroiter walk right in front of our camera, but it's okay. We'll forgive her. We'll forgive her. It's okay, Kai. It's okay. So moving on from today, let's look at yesterday really quick. And what are your thoughts on Lions spending a little bit of money on St. Brown and Panay, but not yet on Jared Goff?
Well, I mean, that's two key offensive. Offensively, that was their strength this last season. And then, it's the old saying: you get what you pay for. The cost of keeping the top NFL players is not cheap. And if they think those guys are expensive, wait till they see what Goff's going to try to command. My read is he'll get it, because for years, even with Stafford not having a quarterback that could lead them, has limited what they could do. Well, obviously, Goff stayed healthy behind a good offensive line. Now Sewell's staying, and he completed a lot of passes because he had good receivers. And now St. Brown's staying, so it stands to reason that. Where they don't want to give up what they've gained, and I understand that. But it's like anything else, there's a salary cap involved in this, but they have no options on Goff. They have to sign the guy. I think Goff does want to stay in Detroit, but I think business is also. The only reason, it's nice that Sewell and St. Brown all say they want to spend their careers in Detroit, because that's why they're getting paid.
Yeah, that's why
they're getting paid to stay in Detroit. For $1 more, they might have gone elsewhere.
Well, so of course, the big news too when they sign is, it makes St. Brown the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
Till the next guy signs, and he's the highest paid. Till the next offensive tackle, and he's the highest paid.
Will that work on Goff? Will he be more than Burrow is per year? Burrow gets $55 million a year.
It's going to be close.
You think so?
I think it'll be close. I think Goff's in the driver's seat. He's going to be 30. So he's not too old.
Pretty young
He's
still.
been to a Super Bowl. Where I think that he has had a tremendous break is the fact that he has not been injured in the last 2 years. And go take a look at the other 31 NFL teams who've lost their starting quarterback, even if it was just for a play, a series, a game, a month, a season, 2 seasons, whatever. And heaven forbid the Lions should lose this guy to an injury, because behind him they have little. I'll just be polite. They have little behind Goff. And when Stafford got hurt and missed 7-8 games, they never won a game. They never won a game. I think that's why you see Pittsburgh's got 2 quarterbacks. If I was the Lions, I would still figure out a way to get. Well, they had Bridgewater this last year, but he never played because Goff never got hurt.
He never had to, right?
He never got hurt. But
done.
NFL quarterbacks get injured.
They do.
And Goff has been able. What, are you trying to avoid the Dean curse by knocking on wood? Is that the deal?
Yes. I was looking for salt and all kinds of things to get good luck in.
NFL teams now, look at all the NFL teams that have lost quarterbacks for any number, and this is over a 2-year period. He hasn't been hurt. Even Stafford got hurt.
And it's been happening. Is it happening more than you remember?
Yeah.
Is it because the game is faster, tougher, harder?
Well, no, because the quarterbacks are, in my opinion, are more mobile. So when plays break down, they run with it. Well, now they're going to get hit. And but Goff is, he's not stupid. He's a veteran, experienced quarterback. He's been able to avoid hits, and when he does get hit, he knows how to fall. He doesn't run a great deal of the time, and that helps him. But he has an offensive line that protects him, which I think is very underrated in Detroit, and that's why Sewell signed for all that money, because they need him.
They need him, and fans love him, and they love St. Brown.
They love winning.
They do love winning, and
they love. It's like they say, the best marketing plan in sports is winning.
It is pretty nice.
That's if you want to figure out how to market your team, win.
So you mentioned J.J. McCarthy, but Michigan actually has more players than just J.J. McCarthy. They have quite a few players.
They could put their own team in the NFL. The Ann Arbor Junior Lions. They got 20 guys at the combine. The record for most guys from one school taken in the draft, and I don't have the exact numbers, Georgia. But if Michigan had 20 guys in the combine, let's say all those guys get drafted, it's going to be like the Michigan postseason awards bank, where these guys will all be marching wherever it is to their 10. That's going to be a lot of different teams. Some of these guys will be on the same NFL team, so they'll be playing with each other.
So you said it's 20?
They were 20 at the combine. That was a record at Indianapolis in February. That was a record for most guys from the same school at one combine. They had 20. What was their record last season? Oh, 15-0. Son of a gun. That's a coincidence.
Somewhere somebody's got a tattoo of that. So Georgia's 15 total picks is the record right now.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is.
It's 15 total
Oh,
picks.
15. So the 16th Michigan guy chosen becomes the answer to a trivia question.
And that was in 2022. So that was.
What was their record in 2010? This isn't coincidence. When you get drafted in the NFL, probably you were a pretty good college player who helped your college team win. And don't ask me about Michigan State because.
Why not?
Because it's a whole different deal. You know, they had 80 consecutive years where they had a guy chosen in the draft, and then what was it, the year before last, they got shut out. Now they're going to get shut out likely again. That's 2 out of 3. Why do you think they went 5-7 and 4 and 8? You got to have NFL players to win at this level.
They don't have them.
And Michigan has had them.
Had them.
They have had them.
Kept them because they wanted to win that national championship. So those who stay. That's all I've heard. That's pretty much all I have. Joey Ellis is in Detroit right now, so they're going to be bringing you the latest from Detroit. Our whole team. We have a whole team.
There you go.
It'll be a good time. Draft kicks off at 8:00 tonight.
Well, the first pick is going to be
8:45.
Well, no, I'm going to guess 8:15.
8:15.
You got to give the fans time to boo the commissioner, and that takes a while.
I do have some friends down there right now who are.
Time to boo the commissioner.
They got to boo him pretty bad.
Oh, that's what
I mean, and I think he's trying to win Detroit over with that whole M&M commercial. I don't know if it works.
Yeah, but it's not stylish to cheer the commissioner.
In any sport.
I don't even have my mic on, or I say I'm done, and then
That's what happens.
So it's probably better if I don't have a mic on.
All right, Tim will be on news at 6 p.m. with more sports. We're going to go back to the live look at Detroit, where the NFL draft is being held in downtown Detroit. This is Campus Martius. Draft officially starts at 8 p.m. And of course, we will be bringing you all of the latest from Detroit. Thanks for watching, everybody.